My name is Kujo Yankson. Let me tell you how to turn back time. You can now bring back all the fun, all the excitement, all the controversy of the Super Morning Show and all your favorite Joy shows when you go to myjoyonline.com/podcasts. Just select your favorite show and bring it all back again. Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Radio, Joy 99.7.
All right, so this is the AM show with myself, Israel, and Nimwa, and we'll be getting into the show proper. Thanks to you, Muftal, for bringing us sports.
Sports.
I have a quick birthday dedication. I want to put it out there. It's to Superintendent Rosina Ajwa Donko Gariba. You're currently serving on a peacekeeping mission in South Sudan, and this is from your husband, DCOP Vance Gariba. And he says he wishes you a lovely, lovely birthday. And I will use this opportunity to send a shout out there to all those people, police, military, who are serving outside the country, in Sudan, in various parts of the country. I think there's some in Afghanistan, not sure though. But, well, may the Lord be with you.
Indeed.
And keep you safe. Now, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, in partnership with GIZ, UNIDO, Ghana Enterprises Agency, formerly MBSSI, Joy Business, KPMG, IFC, Standard Chartered Bank, and Bank of Africa, is organizing the Chamber SME Business Forum under the theme Redefining Success, the Case of SMEs in Ghana. The purpose of the forum, a quarterly event, is to provide a high-level platform to deliberate on topical issues and make policy recommendations relating to the sustainable growth and development of SMEs in Ghana, as well as explore new business partnerships. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Alan Chermanting, is the special guest of honor, with Akosua Fremo Sel Pari, Chief of Staff, Office of the President, as the keynote speaker. It's happening on Wednesday, August 25, 2021 at 9 a.m. and the venue is La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra. You're warmly invited to join other distinguished industry players and policymakers to discuss the strategies critical for building business value, resilience, and sustainability, as well as explore new business partnerships. For more information and reservations, please call Brigitta on 050-126-0141 or Nathan on 050-151-0499. I'll take the numbers again, 050-126-0141 for Brigitta, and Nathan, 050-151-0499. Contribution to cost is 200 cedis. All right. So anyway, we're moving on to the show, and the issue has to do with the Abessim murder, which happened over the weekend. And, well, the story broke over the weekend. We've got some gory details coming out of it. Some of the images that were shared, of course, we can't share the images with you. But, yeah, I'm sure you've seen some of the images that came out. I mean, it's graphic stuff. Well, police have arrested 2 people for the death of 3 people in the Bono Region. That's the Abessim Murder that I'm talking about. Now, we have some details from the police. They've been sharing some information with us as far as the murders are concerned. Let's hear from the police, and then we'll get onto the ground and speak with our correspondent to give us a lot more detail. So let's hear from the Director of Public Affairs, Superintendent Alex Kweku Obeng, who spoke on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufu Dampare.
The Inspector General of Police paid a visit to the traumatized community of Abessim, and then the family members affected, and conferred with the Regional Police Command and the Incident Scene Management Team. He has directed accordingly that 1, the 2 suspects are in our custody. The suspect appear. The second one, name withheld. to help us with our ongoing investigation to unravel what, how, where that were involved in this heinous incident. Again, he directed that a homicide investigation team from CID headquarters takes over the case to Accra. Again, the remains, if further direct, is being moved to police service, Ghana Police Service Hospital, morgue in Accra, for forensic pathology analysis and examination to support this investigation. We are aware that there are traumatized persons involved in this crime, i.e., the affected family members, the community members, and even the police officers who are involved in this scene search and investigation, that they need to be supported psychologically. So clinical psychologists and counselors are being dispatched to support persons affected. Again, we are aware that police alone cannot solve all issues and incidents like this. And the members of the public are very critical in police accident investigation process. Therefore, 2 police liaison officers have been selected and will avail their services from tomorrow. And this will be spearheaded by the Bono Regional Police Command. And their work is simple: to liaise with the members or the families affected and the police, so that we'll be able to know how far we have gone to the accident investigation and issues that bothers the family members. Through them, the administration will know and deliver swift redress.
All right, so you had Superintendent Alex Obeng speaking there about the incident. Now, we know a bit about the story, which is the fact that there was this gentleman who, murdered, supposed to have murdered the stepbrother. Essentially, went for him from the house, and then subsequently they got to find out that the guy was killed. And then the police went to the house. They also found out there were other bodies, and some of the bodies stuffed in the refrigerator. But let's get to Precious Semerville. He's been following the story since it broke, and he has a lot more detail on it. So Precious, just bring us up to speed. We're told that there's this gentleman who's involved, who's supposed to be a footballer, and then another man has also been arrested in connection with the crime. Just tell us all that has happened, Precious.
Yeah, so Israel, the 28-year-old, as Randy said earlier, a draftsman, as they call him, as an architect, and then a quacksalver. That is what he does for a living. Him being a footballer, he played at the grassroots level, only up to the second division, a Sunyani-based second division club known as Kumapim. Checks indicate that last year he was registered for the club, but same cannot be said for this particular season. And going through what happened, yes, his own step brother, a twin, the junior of the twin, is the one who got missing on Friday. That's what triggered the search, and ultimately leading to the other bodies, in his room. Now, he was last seen with this his stepbrother, but later when they were looking for him, he feigned knowledge and claimed that he had escorted his brother to go to their mother's store, which is the store, and then where he lives in a self-contained apartment. In fact, the building that you see behind Alexander Obin, the public affairs director, is where this Richard Appiah, the suspect, lives, and lives there alone. So that is the house. And from that house to the store is about 300 or so meters apart. So he claims that he escorted his brother to go back. But they continued insisting, together with the police. They went to the house. Some young men had to go behind the house, tear the net, peep through, and then their suspicion level got heightened. So they entered the house, a particular room that they suspected that a fridge was operating in the room, accompanied with some foul scent. He insisted that the room belongs to someone, and for that matter, the occupant is not available, and he will not allow them to enter. But they forced themselves to open the door, only to see the lifeless body in the house. And then upon further search, that is when they found the body parts starched in the double door refrigerator.
Now, Precious, I want us to backtrack a little to the point where they couldn't find this little boy, his stepbrother.
So
I understand
it was a time that is, as well as the vigilance of the family. And
yeah, Precious, as I was saying, I want us to backtrack a little and get to the point where the boy went missing, when they couldn't find the boy. What steps did the family take to try to look for the boy, and how did they end up finding this young man who is currently the suspect?
So when it's getting to evening, or if child is with you, after a while, if you don't see him, you start asking around. And according to the parents, that is exactly what they did until they got to know that his brother, Richard Appiah, is alleged to have returned from town with some food, and then took him along to the house to go and eat the food. So when they were looking for him, that is when Richard said that he escorted him to go back to the mother. But some also insisted that they did not see him. See, between the store, which is Alaska Junction, and then where Richard lives, you have a lot of stores along the street. So if you are passing, people will easily identify you that, okay, within the last few minutes or an hour, you came to pass. Yeah. So nobody could corroborate the story that he had escorted the boy back to the parent. And the insistence, I don't know what triggered their suspicion that Richard is the last person they saw with a child, and for that matter, he should produce the mother. At a point in time, it was an exchange between Richard and then the mother, that he hasn't seen the brother. The mother insisted that, I'm told you was last seen with him. So that is what triggered the suspicion, and they started pushing him. With the police, they went to the house, raining Saturday night. They went to the house, continued searching, and then lo and behold, they found the lifeless body of these children, and then the other one cut and then stuck into the fridge. Now, two of them, the police have been able to identify two of them, the twin brother, Junior, Louis Ajiman, who got missing on Friday, and that is the beginning of all this. And the one who was cut and stuck into the fridge is Sapon Stephen, 15-year-old GHS2 student. And then the third person that the police is yet to identify this person.
So this third person that the police is yet to identify, nobody in the community is saying that they have their son or ward missing.
Yes, as at now, for those who initially went there, and nobody has made complaints to the police for the police to allow them to go and see the lifeless body of this person who is now being kept or preserved as a private mortuary at Mantukwa. Nobody as at now has come out to identify that this is my relative or this is my child.
So the suspects who is alleged to have killed the stepbrother want to know a bit more about him. You say that he's a draftsman, he's an architect, and then he's once played football. That goes to suggest that he probably may be quite a popular young man in the community.
Yes, he goes by the nickname Fire or Fireman in the neighborhood. Personally, I've not a friend, but I know him in Sunyani. I've seen him a couple of times. Quite a nice young man. No one who attributes any violent attitude or aggressive behavior or anything for that matter to Richard. He's quiet. He goes about his activities. He dressed well. So it's residents who tell you that he will be the last person that they would have suspected to be hiding the children and committing such a crime and living within them to the extent that they don't know that he's involved in such an activity. So quite a nice guy, very popular. He played football, as I said, he's in two club. If you're a footballer, because of the attraction and the fact that he also played in a community gala representing Abessim, competing with other communities within the Sunya.
Okay, so Precious's video seems to have frozen, so we have lost connection with him. But yes, we would want to know a bit more about this gentleman. Precious, do we know if he has a girlfriend? I'm sure he has friends. What are they saying about it?
A girlfriend, I'm unable to confirm that, but yes, he has friends who, some of them, a couple of days, and even those who saw him on that same Friday. And Ishwa, I don't know if you've heard from the story of the father of the boy who was killed and stuck into the fridge.
We will come to him in a bit. I was just hoping that we could get a bit more detail on this Richard Appiah gentleman and what his friends have been saying subsequently. Did he drop any hints?
They are shocked. Israel, they are shocked. They are surprised that someone they know, they never imagined that he was that kind of a person because of the way he carried himself in the community, the way he relates with them. He goes about his activities, and they are just dumbfounded. They just don't know what to think about him and other people going forward.
Now, we know that the young boy, the stepbrother who was killed probably on Friday, because that was when he went missing. Do we know about the other two when they died? So
the unidentified body as at now, very little information is known about him yet. Right. But the one who was killed, cut into pieces, stuck into a fridge, he got missing a little over a week ago.
All right.
Yes, a little over a week ago. Now, Friday gone by, because of the fact that Richard Appiah, the suspect, is involved in surveying and all that, he was selling some property that the second victim, that is Stephen Sapon, his father, Mr. Yabua Esuama, is a business partner with this suspect. So he sold the property for him. Friday evening, they went to deliver an amount of 115,000 Ghana cedis to Richard Appiah. And then the father is saying that Richard even asked them if they still have not found their missing child. And they said, yes, they are still looking for him. So it's it's quite interesting that he has this man, this boy, but he was still asking the father if you've not found your child, a business partner. So the father was surprised that his partner, his friend, would do that to his child and still come around him and play innocent.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite shocking. And so what we know now is that the police has directed that essentially the investigation has been taken over by the CID headquarters. We know that the IGP was there, and he has been interacting with the family. So that's the stage of at which we are as far as the investigations are concerned. Just bring us up to speed on that.
Yeah, so the IGP and his team were in town yesterday. They were first briefed by the Bono Regional Police Command at the Abessim police station where the incident was first reported. After the briefing, the IGP, together with his team, they went to the Chief Palace, the Chief of Abessim, Berima Kumi Echang, on a closed door discussion. After that, he continued to meet the families of the victims in two separate closed door, meetings. Thereafter, he went to the accident scene or the crime scene to ascertain things for himself, although the place was. So he did not enter the house to as it were, look at things, but he stood outside at a distance, and he was briefed by the investigation team, the crime management team, and all that. So it was thereafter that he announced through the public affairs director that they, in addition to Richard in their custody, and directed that the investigation be moved to Accra so that the homicide investigation team of the CID headquarters would take over. And the remains also transferred to the police hospital in Accra for further forensic analysis. And they've also set up a two-man liaison team to be headed by the Bono Regional Police Command to liaise between the family and then Ghana Police Service by way of investigation to continuously update the family as to where they've gotten to, and then if there are other things that needs to be done through this two-man liaison police officers, they will be able to deal with it expeditiously. And they are also entreating the general public to come out with information, because the belief out there is that this is not a one-man activity. There could be other people behind the scene pulling the strings. So people should volunteer information to assist the police in their investigations.
Now, Precious, one of the motives being suggested is that this probably would have to do with ritual killings. Is there any credence to that?
Well, it's part of the narration and the assumptions, opinions of people, community members, relatives, because they kind of ask themselves, why would you kill someone and then refrigerate parts of the body? Probably the intent is to use it for. That is why it's being refrigerated. So probably there's a motive. There's a motive. So you would not be wrong if you attach or have or form such an opinion that it's for such a purpose.
Now, when the police went to the murder scene, were they able to retrieve any implements, maybe cutlass or saws or anything that probably may have been used in butchering the body?
It is not really clear the quantum of or the kind of implements that the police, but the police had lots of or picked lots of materials from the house, and including the compound of the house, including a digging tool and all that from the house. Because as you may have seen, in one of the rooms, blood stains all over the floor and all that, and some drums with some substances and all that in it, all has been taken away by the police to assist in the investigation.
All right, thank you very much, Precious Semevo. Precious Semevo has been following the case of the Abessim murders. The police have been to the community. The IGP, the acting IGP himself, has been to the community. He's asked that the case be transferred to the CID headquarters here in Accra. And so, yes, the police is taking up the issue. We've been trying to get to the police to see what the latest and what they can share with us. We have been unsuccessful so far, but we will be trying to see if we can get anything from the police. But it presents, it's a really tragic story that should worry anybody at all, especially parents, because having been in a society where you know that your kids are not that safe, to the extent that your relatives may want to harm your children, to the extent of murdering them, that's quite troubling anymore for,
very, very
for a mother.
troubling. Yeah, I mean, of course, it speaks to everything we're afraid of, isn't it? You know how it is, you know, when you send your kids outside, you know, even when they just want to play outside or, you know, just want to walk outside, you know, and you're just worried, you know, about what could happen. And there's so many times that I've been accused of being a little bit too protective of my kids, because I really won't send them next door to buy sugar or gari or, you know, I won't do that. You know, and there have been times when people have said to me that, you know, you're a little bit too protective, you know, you should let them go out and buy stuff, you know. And I mean, in my hood, I do see, you know, some of the kids my age, you know, walking around and playing football. But I'm too scared. I'm like,
ideally, it should be fine. I mean, because
be,
we were sent out like that as kids.
Exactly. I mean, I remember we used to gallivant, like serious gallivanting, you know, back in the day. But you can't do that with your children anymore. I mean, it's scary. And the more you hear stories like this, the more you want to keep them close, you know, the more you want to keep them indoors. And that takes something away from their, you know, their childhood.
And their development,
exactly.
Children should be allowed to go out
exactly and explore and enjoy the neighborhood. It's unfortunate, but this is where we are in life. I just hope that this case, you know, is brought to justice, you know, and then we can maybe pick a few learning points from, you know, what has happened. But I don't know, Israel. It's a difficult one.
Yeah, very difficult one. All right, so you're watching the AM show. We're taking a break, but we have more coming up. We'll be speaking about the youth strike. We're expecting that the lecturers, well, they had indicated last Thursday when we spoke with them that they were going back, they were likely to go back to the classroom. So we'll be on the campuses to find out what exactly is happening. Do stay tuned in. We'll be back in a bit.